Hello everybody and welcome to the official last episode of this series. The reason I'm doing this is mostly because I have been having a lot of trouble with Minecraft lately. So lag issues, and also with 1.6 soon coming out, I think it's about time I might as well wrap it up. Don't worry, I will start with a new series that I'm gonna play after I'm done with Path of Exile anyway, so might as well start with it now when I don't will I will not play Minecraft anymore. So I'm gonna show you the end game items and I'm gonna have a show and tell. Basically what you need to do with this end game item that is really expensive. You need a superconductor. Yeah, I have shown you like the ultimate solar panels need 16 iridium plates. Let's see if I can get them up first of all. They were in this one, so 16 iridium plates in total, and I need 4 iridium for each plate. And yeah, you need like 8 UV matter for each iridium ore. So that's a lot of UV matter, so it's gonna take forever to make. And that's just the thing that charges it. You can also go for the other one, the high voltage solar array, but you need 8 medium voltage, you need 8 low voltage to make 1 medium, and so on. So that also takes forever. So either way it's gonna take a very long time. Also, in order to make the ultimate solar helmet, you're gonna need the ultimate hybrid solar panel. And then you're gonna make quantum, which I was gonna start with this time, but yeah, not gonna happen. Then we have the virus that needs more iridium plates, superconductor again. The most painful thing to make is the solar helmet. The second one is the gravity chest plate, and the third one is the wire, I think. And the easiest one, I guess, is ultimate hybrid solar panel. And in order to do this, you're gonna need to first make an ultimate hybrid. That's the first step. You also need a MFCU because MFE won't do shit. Just let me tell you that. So you're gonna need a HV transformer and these high voltage cables to transport electricity because it's so much. So also transformers are supposed to place like this. Yes, I'm gonna shade a bit just to make it easier to show you. So we have that, and then you place the... Wait, where the... Oh, I placed the wrong thing. Place the MFCU first. Terp. That's why it looks so different. I was gonna say, I was like, what? Why isn't it showing the right path? So, it's this one. Ultimate hybrid, and then you place the MFCU in this order. You have to do this. If you place the MFCU first, it's gonna explode. And also if you wire the HV transformer, it's gonna explode. So be very careful when you do this. When you have that, you can make this stuff and recharge it. And the neat thing with the ultimate solar panel, which is the most expensive too, is it's recharging your stuff. So you can see my advanced nano chest plate is charging up by itself, which is very nice. Then we also have the full quantum legs. I can show you just for demonstration. This is just a show and tell. I'm not gonna use this later on in a way. So the quantum armor has some potential because they have sprint assist, they have some jump assist. There's another one called the power armor that I don't personally like, so that's why I'm not showing you that. And it's kinda more complicated, but I don't prefer that actually. I prefer this one because it's the legs that gives you the sprint assist. The quantum suit boots like reduce all damage. Grab a chest plate, lets you fly in like you in creative mode, which is way better than the power suit. So that's very good. And ultimate solar panel recharges your stuff for you. The quantum lets you breathe underwater for longer, I think. So it's very nice. Then we have the Vira, which is very nice, because you can delete stuff very nice and quickly. Also, I'm gonna show you something that I wanted to show you, but I couldn't. And I have to show you that in my base that I have now, basically. So let's take a look around for my base, like right here. I've done a lot in this base. I have played like longer than I have on my other base because I don't record that much. And when you start with, usually when I start with applied analytics, which I'm showing you right now, you're gonna need a ME controller. I kinda don't know which one it is, but they have a own cable system called ME cables, and that's what I'm following now. And you need, oh wait, I can easily check that, I remember. What is that? Okay. Isn't this the ME controller? No, it isn't. But you need it, and you need to power it. That's what I'm saying. So here inside my forest, I have a couple of stuff that I'm powering. So if I go down here, we should find my ME controller somewhere around here. So that's the first step. And then you need at least IMFE to power it. If you increase the size of the system, it's gonna require more power, so you need to upgrade. But MFE is good to start. And ME controller is made like that. So you need flux crystals, which is certain quartz that you find in the overworld, and the quartz that you find in the nether, and then redstone. And you need 4 of them, and a ME advanced processor that you can either make like that, or you can make it by melting advanced process assembly, which is made like this, and a quartz cutting knife that is pretty basic. So yeah, then then the first step I usually take is to make one of these, which is auto crafting for basically everything, and you actually make the recipes out of patterns. So this is a multi-structure which is made by containment wall, like that. So you need a lot of surface quartz because that's a frame. Then in between the frame you have heat vents, and that's ME cables. And ME cables is basically made about flux dust, and as you know, made by surface quartz and nether quartz dust. But you can see it right here. Inside you actually need 2 other things. First you need a CPU, ME crafting CPU, and it's also made by those ME advanced processor and 2 quartz. You also need pattern provider, which is made like this. And this is actually very complicated because you need basic ones of these, which is made like that, almost as the advanced one, but it requires gold instead of diamonds. So that's at least easy. But then you need a storage one. Wait. Then you need conversion matrix, which is also a bit complicated because you need a basic processor. So there's a lot of stuff you actually need in order to make the pattern providers, and that's actually the pages. The CPUs is how fast it crafts. So you can have 3 CPUs and 1 provider, but you only will have 2 pages that you can fill. And then you need a pattern coder, again a conversion matrix, and blank patterns, which is made by glowstone dust and surface quartz. And then you actually make the recipe can show you if I manage to find a way out. You know my sense of direction, it's not that great. If we go down here, alot to explains. Here we have the pattern encoder. We have one recipe right here, but the easiest way to get a recipe is actually write what you want. For example, a chest. You press R and you hold shift and left click and you have the recipe, and then you can press a code. This is where you place the blank patterns. These ones. And then you need to open this one and you place it. And the biggest I made was 9 by 9 by 9. And it has to be like equal, so 5 by 5 by 5 or 9 by 9 by 9, etc. And the bigger they are, you can fill them with more CPUs and more pattern providers. It's pretty advanced. When that's done, you need some storage. And that is most required. The most simple thing you can make for storage is a chest. Chest, conversion matrix, glass and iron. Pretty easy. But it's very hard to make storage because you need to make a storage bus, which stores all matter into bytes. So it's basically a data storage. And you can have the larger one, which is 64K, so it's always 63 different kinds, but it can store like 65,536 bytes. Basically, 1 byte is 1 item. So it's basically 64,000 items you can store in this one, but only 63 types, different types. And the lowest one is 1K. And you're gonna need a big freaking storage cluster, and you're gonna need a storage block. Yeah, as you can see, you're gonna need a lot of storage into storage. It's basically the same principle as solar panels in industrial craft. So the first one, you need a storage cell. Then you need a storage segment that requires 3 storage cells and a basic processor. And then if we go larger, you're gonna need 3 storage segments, which is 3 storage cells, and each storage cell has a basic processor, so it's getting more complicated. And yeah, then for the large one, you're gonna need 3 storage blocks. So it's going on and on and on. And then you can also place them in a ME chest or a disk drive, which I have. Disk drive is better according to me, because you can have everything in the same box instead of making a new chest for each storage bus you have. I'm trying to get the thing. If I write drive, there we have it. You're gonna only need 2 basic processors too, instead of a conversion matrix, which is a bit more complicated to me. Although you can't access them directly. If you have a chest, the good thing with that is I also need to connect it to my line of power. So there we go. With chest, you can actually access them, which is pretty nice, because then you can see what you have in them, which is pretty good actually for some stuff. If you want a chest just for ingots and materials, you can have one ME chest for that, and you have a disk drive with random stuff for the rest, which is very nice. And then you need the access terminal. And the access terminal only needs 1 conversion matrix and 1 cable. And you have all the access from all the materials. You have your crafting recipes from the auto crafting mechanism right here, where I have all my patterns. So I can just make, oh, I want a chest. Done. Or you have a lot of stuff. For example, gold, I have 900. For example, you can also intervene with other things. So I have a storage bus which shares the inventory whatever it is placed under or next to. In deep storage units and barrels it has to be beneath it because how the inventory works in this one. So I have all inventory space in here accessible in my system. So if I take cobblestone out of here, it gets removed from this inventory right here. And if I place cobblestone in here, it gets placed into this inventory right here. So it's very nice. And there is export and import for dumping stuff into chests and dumping stuff into the system. It's a very nice system. And then you have the crafting monitor, which says if I want to craft, let's say I want to craft a lot of chests. Let's remove that and say I want 10 chests. You can see if you're missing something, but in this case I didn't miss something. Let's make something that I know for a fact I will miss something in. So basic processor, something works and something doesn't. So if you lack a component, for example, because this needs one of these, right, and melt it, but I don't have this as a recipe in the pattern because it didn't work, because there are different damage values with the quartz knife, so I have that in here, then of course I'm gonna miss something, right? So in the crafting monitor it says, oh, you're missing a basic processor assembly, and then you can just look it up. Then when you have made it and put it in, it will probably craft it by itself, but sometimes it lags or something. Then you just break the monitor and replace it and it's resetted. And then you can craft it again. It's a very good tip because that happens time to time, which is very annoying. And I think there are some other stuff that I haven't gotten into with this. For example, there's a crafting terminal, which is basically one of these, but you can access it like this and you can do the same principle that I had with this one. So I can just do this and I can craft it in the crafting terminal. I can show you, just because I'm so nice. Crafting monitor, is that the one? No, that's that one. Crafting terminal, is it? Yeah, that's the one. So this is how it looks. So you can access all that, and then you can just how did you do this? If you don't have cheat mode that I usually have, so this is actually very bad for me because I always have cheat mode, because you need to left click in order to get this, and then you can see, oh, I'm missing MA access terminal, so I can make it. So like that. But if I were in cheat mode, of course I'm gonna spawn in the item instead, and that wouldn't be good. But this is basically show and tell. And also you have these ME interfaces. So I have one in the back right here, right? That I showed you right here. I actually have charcoal, so as soon as I take out charcoal, it will place it right here. So I can just empty the ME interface as much as I want, and it will still refill it. And it requires converter matrix and a ME cable. How typical. Wasn't there something else that needed that? I don't remember. Out of ME interfaces you actually make the storage bus and export thingy, these things, and they are in different stages. I can see precision, fuzzy, basic. If you want more details you can watch that over, because that's usually what I do. But here we have some basic instruction on that. And also if you want to intervene with machines, Basically I have an import on the side, which is supposed to be the output, and then I have a ME interface, and then for those things you need one melted and one unmelted. So for example, one coal we know is one dust, right? In order to do that, just macerating at the moment, for example. It takes time because it takes time to macerate, of course. But then you place the shark coal right there, and the recipe won't get automatically made. For example, if we have gold, we know exactly that you get 9 gold nuggets. But coal doesn't get anything, as you saw. So we need to place the thing that it wants to be crafted right there. And then we encode the pattern, and then we place the pattern inside the ME interface that is on top of the machine. So I have the pattern right here, and they look like this when you're done. That's also one of the things I want to show you. Weapon wise, I don't think there's any good one. There is the nano saber, that's like the best one, but that's like taste. For example, I showed you the sword, I think. Did I show you the sword? I think I showed you a sword. Sword of Zephyr. This one. This weapon is from Formcraft. I think I showed you this, and it has AoE and it has wind block. I'm not sure if I showed you. But it do less damage than Nano Saber, but it's AoE, so that's good. But that one do more damage, and it only hits one. Then you have the Force Sword, which is really easy to enchant with sharpness 4, which also deals a lot of damage, but again it only hit one enemy, and like that depends. Then we have, let's see if I have the sword from Tinker's Construct, which also do a lot of damage, and you can get some nice interesting enchants like Outer Repair, which this Force Sword doesn't have. The Nano Saber require electricity. You can have Outer Repair on Sword Zephyr if you enchant it, and so on. So it's like more what you prefer. Oh yeah, I need to throw it away. So it's very interesting, but I'm not really sure what I haven't showed. I haven't showed you how to make this farm. I can show you the recipes, but you're not gonna get any wiser. I'm starting a project with this, which I'm gonna get into later, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I haven't showed you. I'm probably gonna wait until next version of Minecraft, then I'm gonna show you a lot. And the sad thing about that is I don't like most of the changes in the new version, so it's gonna be interesting for me. And also everything is about to change. Everything. Farmcraft is gonna change. New magic mode. Industrial craft is gonna change. I think the only mod that I know for a fact is not gonna change is Thermal Expansion. That's the only one. Everything else totally different. Also Tinker's Construct is probably mostly gonna be the same. And I haven't even finished this house yet. That's how little I have done with Tinker's Construct. It's sad. And you might as well know that I have some lag issues. It's way worse in my official recording site, that's why I am holding onto this place. And why is there a sheep up there? Whatever. But subscribe and like for more. Let's see you next season, I guess. And let's see if I will do Direwolf mod pack thingy or Unleashed. We will see. So far I like Unleashed better than Direwolves, especially in 1.5, but we will see if that's different in 1.6. Until then I will record Unepic instead of Minecraft, and I will upload the videos on the same day. Yeah, Puff Exile tomorrow. Can't wait till I'm done with that, because apparently I'm sooner or later done with it, but who knows when. But that's it for now. Tune in next season, like I said, and that's it for this season. And I wanted to do so much more, but lag issues, crappy PC. Maybe when I have a better PC I will continue, otherwise see you until then.